Hi everyone, we're meeting with Leanne and Sue today, who both went down to the march in Canberra in 2022. It's a really good idea to revisit that at this stage with the government bringing in the digital ID. That march was about the vaccine mandates, and we all know how many people have died from the vaccine mandates. So now we've got two ladies who met in the car park down there and have become firm friends. And they were asked to move their camp to the Indigenous land between the library and Lake Burley Griffin. Because it was Indigenous land, they were told that no government authority had any right to go onto that ground and they would be safe. So before we go there, Sue, tell us about your trip down.
Oh, the trip down, I was so proud to be an Australian. Just seeing all the people lined over the overpasses and along the main road, Pacific Highway I think it is, just waving banners, and it was just a proud time for me.
Yeah, it was definitely a wonderful time, and I'm very fortunate that I was lucky enough to meet up with Sue and her husband, and we've remained friends ever since. So.
Well, we can say from our end that it was very emotional seeing the convoys off to Canberra. We donated a lot of food and money, and these people represented our hearts as well as their own. So I think for every person that went, there were at least 10 standing behind them who couldn't go. Yep. So tell us what happened on this safe land.
Well, Sue, you want me to?
Yep.
Okay, so initially or originally we were told that we would be able to stay on this particular lot of ground that's between the National Library and Lake Burley Griffin for as long as we wanted to, and that legally no government bodies, AFP, police, whoever, could come and move us on. And after about, I think maybe three or four days, we were moved on. That was when they decided they would get the tow truck drivers in, and they literally started towing 2 vehicles before the tow truck drivers decided to lay their tow truck down basically and said no, we're not doing this any longer, and they supported our cause. So, yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's really good. So when you went to Epic then with so many other people, tell us a little bit about your experience there.
Oh, it was another great experience and a proud day for me, because we were with our group, our tribe. We call it a tribe. Everyone was of the same ideas, as we were all the same, thinking about the same things.
So what else did you experience when you were supposedly protected on the Indigenous land?
Unfortunately for all of us, we went through the experience of being harassed, intimidated. There was an instance where, and at different points in time, we were scared. We were.
Is this by the police?
Yes, by the AFP. And the UN come in at some point in time. They're the ones that are all in the black. They have the black helmets on. They have an AK-47, I think it's called, AK gun. And there was one occasion where the police, they were lined up. There would have been at least 100 of them, if not more, and they were lined up into 2 or 3 rows adjacent to each other. And they had started what they call kettling or herding the protesters back into Lake Burley Griffin, so you literally got nowhere to go. And fortunately for us, there was a young guy there from Melbourne. He knew what they were up to, and he suggested to all of us to return to our camps. He said, they're trying to herd you all, they're trying to kettle you, so head back to your camps. So we all did, and then strangely enough, there was a mention of a sniper on the National Library roof, and I thought, surely to goodness God, you know, there was no sniper. But I went back and checked through my photographs, the pictures that I'd taken, and
There
sure
was
as
three,
eggs.
weren't
Yeah,
there,
they
three?
were up there on the roof, so that was just absolutely horrendous. So they were some of the things we had to contend with.
I did stand there watching the police tie a guy up with what are they called?
Zippy ties.
Zip ties, and he was screaming out. They were so tight, and we stood there watching that.
That other.
And then the young copper that punched the poor old Vietnam vet and knocked him out, and they had to get the ambulance, and he's saying, "Oh, I didn't mean it, and everyone's saying, "You're nothing but a mongrel."
That's terrible.
So there were a lot of things that we witnessed
saw.
that we should never have had. The opportunity to have happened to us.
It was just sad to think that these people were nothing more than us. They were the same, and that yet they were treating us like criminals.
So this is what our government has been doing for a long time.
Definitely.
So when I was speaking to you last week, you told me this terrible thing about the police making very intimidating sounds. That would be very scary. Could you tell us about that, please?
Yeah, it was scary. I was standing there, and the police came through the gate. They lined up. I think that day there was 2 lines of them, and all of a sudden they just started with 1 foot forward, and each time they took that foot forward, they made this terrible grunt. Very scary. And then they ran.
Wow.
So it was awful. I'm thinking, why are they doing this to us? We're just everyday family, kids. Why are they doing it?
Sadly, the days of feeling that the police are there to protect us have gone. We're very fortunate here in Mackay at the moment, but overall, people don't think the police can be trusted anymore, which is very, very tragic.
It is.
Now, why did you go to Epic?
For me personally, I'll give my spills, Sue, and then you can give yours if you like. But for me personally, it was freedom of choice. And for our grandchildren, because I'm terrified and have grave concerns on their futures. Sue?
Oh, I just felt that I had to. I cried. My husband didn't want to go, and I cried, and then he said, "All right, we'll go." I just needed to be there for the freedom for my grandson.
Beautiful. So that's why you went down there in the first place.
I did.
So getting back to where you were at the library, you then moved over to Epic, didn't you?
We did.
So why did you do that?
We were told to.
We were forced.
By the police force.
AFP, police force, all of them. So, and that's when they had decided for those that were remaining, they would bring tow trucks in and tow the vehicles out. And none of us were prepared to lose our caravans or motorhomes or whatever.
So at this stage you're at Epic. Tell us some of your experiences that you had there.
Sue, you want me to?
Yeah, you take it on.
Well, we were fortunate because we were one of the early campers, so we managed to get a good front spot. And we were blessed in that when the rest of the literally hundreds of thousands of protesters come to join us, arrive, that we'd be out there welcoming them in. And there wouldn't be just Sue and I, obviously. There'd be literally hundreds of other people, if not thousands, of us out there just clapping them on and, thumbs up and good on you, digger, and all the rest of it. And it was just magic. And then there was one night I said to Sue, and this is still a couple of days before the big major march of the Saturday, and I said to Sue, "Do you want to go? Let's go for a walk and see how many campers there."
Yeah.
So we did, and I swear to God, it was almost like we'd walked from Mackay to Serena. It was never ending. It was never ending, and
it was
we were
amazing.
just absolutely gobsmacked. 2 of us, weren't we?
Yeah, we were.
Yeah, and we were very fortunate also in that so many people locally, plus you'd mentioned earlier, Teen, that you guys had supported the movement
food
with
and
food and essentials, and a lot of people around Canberra were doing the same, and the amount of food and whatnot was coming in. So all of us, those that were able and wanted to, would pitch in and help cook meals, prepare sandwiches, rolls, whatever for lunch, and it was just such a beautiful community spirit.
And a big
really
semi-trailer came up from Helensvale on the Gold Coast, up with food and everything. And my husband worked on that for a day, getting it all out, the food out.
Wow.
That was amazing.
It was.
It was.
Just phenomenal.
Awesome.
So,
We know that a lot of our people from Mackay came back injured from the LRAD weaponry that the police were using on you. And they had some serious injuries. One of our ladies, all her hair fell out. Others were burned. So basically you were microwaved.
we were.
You were. And what are the long-term effects of that? We don't know yet, do we?
No.
And yes, we don't. And unfortunately, for us, it's going to be a waiting game. And strangely enough, or ironically enough, the Canberrian Times actually admitted, the police via the Canberrian Times admitted to the using of LRADs, but they didn't, they skirted around the fact that they didn't actually emit the waves, the EMFs, the frequencies, that it was more used as a crowd control, as in noise-wise. But either which way, we had the long-range acoustic devices. We were all attacked by them. We had people, friends of ours, that were getting sunburnt through their jeans. Just things that were unheard of.
And you were both burnt, weren't
And
you?
my husband, yes, his lip
My
become
lips were
all
burnt.
infected, and it was just wicked to see. And I myself, I'd never suffer with headaches, but I had close enough to what you'd call a migraine for nearly 48 hours. It was horrendous.
And so you were saying your lip still bothers you?
Yeah, still constantly pulling bits of skin off my lip.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the march.
Oh,
Tell us about the march.
that was great.
We all wanted to be there.
Yeah. It was just magic, wasn't it?
It was. And with their dogs, like I had my dog, but so many with their dogs as well, and the pig.
Oh yes, and the pig, yep.
With the pig, a little pig. Yeah.
And we had, the likes of Where's Wally and all these other just random people that would dress up in the moment, so to speak, and it was just brilliant. And absolutely had no idea how many were there marching, but it was
More
like
than
the never-ending
10,000.
story. It just went on and on and on and on and even more on.
So do you regret going?
Never. No, I would never have met this beautiful lady and her husband, and we
Don't regret it at all.
Good.
Never.
Good. Absolutely wonderful. Thank you, ladies. So it was a wonderful time for those who were able to go. We all wish we could have gone, and I think a lot more would go now if that happened, but people are rising up across Australia. Marches are going on right across this beautiful nation of ours. Try and get to them, support them. Every single person is the piece of a jigsaw puzzle, and every single person counts that will stand up. We need to know what the government is doing. Do not take a digital ID. It will be just the end for you. You cannot opt out once you're in. So the Australian spirit is amazing. We will stand, we will win, and we love this country, and we will not let our government take it down the gurgler. Thanks, everyone.